A dictator without elections, modestly successful comedian. President Zelinsky talked the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into a war that basically couldn't be won, that never had to start and never would have started if I was president. On top of this, Zelinsky admits that half of the money that we sent them is missing. They don't know where the money is. He said he refuses to have elections, is low in the real Ukrainian polls. I mean, how can you be high with every city is being demolished? They look like a demolition site, every single one of them. And the only thing he was really good at was playing Joe Biden like a fiddle. He played him like a fiddle. That's a dictator without elections. Zelinsky better move fast or he's not going to have a country left. Got to move fast because that war is going in the wrong direction.
The rare earth minerals deal.
Look, you have leadership, and I like him personally. He's fine. But I don't care about personally. I care about getting the job done. You have leadership now that's allowed a war to go on that should have never even happened, even without the United States. Look, we had a president who was grossly incompetent. He had no idea what he was doing. He said some very stupid things, like going in for portions and all of the things. He made a lot of bad statements, but he's grossly incompetent, and I think everyone knew that. This is something that should have never happened, would have never happened. And I used to discuss it with Putin. President Putin and I would talk about Ukraine. It was the apple of his eye, I will tell you that. But there was never a chance of him going in. And I told him, you better not go in, don't go in, don't go in. And he understood that. He understood it fully. But I'm only interested, I want to see if I can save maybe millions of lives. This could even end up in a World War III. I mean, to be honest with you, you've been hearing now Europe is saying, well, I think we're going to go in and we're going to go. All of a sudden, you're going to end up in World War III over something that should have never happened. And, you know, it's a very sad situation. Yeah, please.
In a court filing, the White House said that Elon Musk is not a DOJ employee and has no authority to make decisions. Can you clarify for us today
well, Elon Musk,
what his exact role is there?
Yeah.
We're hearing that Russia wants to force Ukraine to hold new elections in order to sign any kind of a peace deal. Is that something that the U.S. would ever support?
Well, we have a situation where we haven't had elections in Ukraine, where we have martial law, or essentially martial law in Ukraine, where the leader in Ukraine, I mean, I hate to say it, but he's down at 4% approval rating, and where a country has been blown to smithereens. You got most of the cities are laying on their sides. The buildings are collapsed. It looks like a massive demolition site. The whole, I mean, so many of the cities. I mean, they haven't done it in Kiev because I guess they don't want to shoot too many rockets in there. They've done it 20%, but they haven't done it 100%. If they wanted to do it 100%, it would probably happen very quickly. But you have cities that are absolutely decimated. And yeah, I would say that, you know, when they want a seat at the table, you could say the people have to, wouldn't the people of Ukraine have to say, like, you know, it's been a long time since we've had an election. That's not a Russia thing. That's something coming from me and coming from many other countries also.
Але від Сполучених Штатів ми сьогодні такої підтримки не чуємо. Знаємо, що вони і ще кілька європейських партнерів не підтримують наше членство в НАТО. Я вважаю, що це велике бажання Росії, воно співпадає з цим результатом. Тоді
Das Problem ist, dass die USA heute Dinge sagen, die für Putin sehr angenehm sind. Ich denke, darin liegt der Kern, weil sie ihm gefallen wollen. Wissen Sie wofür? Um einander zu treffen und einen schnellen Erfolg zu haben. Aber das, was sie wollen, einfach Waffenstillstand, das ist kein Erfolg.
Alles, was er gesagt hat, glauben Sie, ist noch nicht fest. Also zum Beispiel, die Ukraine in den Grenzen von 2014 ist nicht realistisch. Das hieße, dass sie dauerhaft auf die Krim und den Donbass verzichten müssten.
Juristisch werden wir unsere Gebiete nicht aufgeben. Unsere Grenzen wurden verletzt. Natürlich werden wir alles wieder zurückbringen. Die Achtung des internationalen Rechts wird zurückkehren. Wenn nicht heute, dann morgen. In jedem Fall müssen wir Geduld haben, den Staat bewahren und unsere Souveränität. Wir werden nicht einfach irgendwas unterschreiben, um lauten Beifall zu bekommen. Nein, denn es geht um das Schicksal unseres Staates. Und zwar für Generationen. Nicht nur für die heutige, sondern auch für die zukünftigen. Wir müssen geduldig sein und weise handeln.
They've committed a lot of violence. A lot of people have been killed. Non-combatants have been killed by the Zelensky government. Beaten our priests, beaten our parishioners. And I have this all on video. If you go to SaveTheUOC.com, you will see the videos of our parishioners being beaten. These are the elderly parents of people at the front fighting for the liberation and protection of Ukraine, being beaten very often by SBU, that's their secret police, wearing death masks with Nazi insignias on their arms. So the fact that he's destroyed civil society, he's destroyed a free media, he jails or sanctions or charges with treason his opponents, we're supposed to ignore all of that, because if we mention it, or if I stand on a soapbox to scream that he's jailing and torturing priests, we are somehow disentitled to speak.
Nie som na to, aby som šiel po ruke prezidentovi Zelenskému. A priznám sa, že už niekedy mám plné zuby. Chodí po tej Európe, len žobre a vydiera, ostatných pýta peniaze. Jednoducho toto musí skončiť. Skúste trošku myslieť aj na túto krajinu. Nie iba na svoje úzkoprosé politické cieľ. Čo budeme robiť pre Boha, keď ten plyn nebude? Vy si myslíte, že Nemci nám pošlú plyn, keď oni budú mať málo? Nepošlú nám nič. Nič nám nepošlú.
Last weekend, I had a meeting at, in a ski resort in the Alps, which is probably the most expensive town in the world. I was not there to ski, for the record. But the whole town is Ukrainian. All the visitors are Ukrainian, and they're rolling into Air Maze and dropping $1 million in an afternoon. Okay. So it's all through Europe. You see this. The richest people are the Ukrainians. That money is ours. It belongs to me and you and every other American taxpayer. That's where it's going. Second fact, not guess, fact is the Ukrainian military is selling a huge percentage, up to half of the arms that we send them. Half. And I'm not guessing about this. I know that for a fact, okay? Not speculation. And they're selling it. And a lot of us winding up with the drug cartels on our border. So this is a crime, what's happening. Our intel agencies are fully aware of this. You tell me they're not profiting from this. Of course, you think the CIA is not profiting from this? Yes, they are. They know this. And no one is saying it. Like, no American seems aware of this. We're sending these arms to Ukraine, hundreds of billions of dollars, and it's being stolen and sold to.
Zelensky is obviously a cokehead. All the signs are there. You give him $1 billion, the next week he's broke. He's always wearing the same dirty T-shirt that Sean Penn gave him. He's always saying delusional shit like, I'm gonna defeat Russia.
You see, Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, well, the cokehead of Kiev, because he is a cokehead, the cokehead of Kiev is actually a manufactured political figure. He was manufactured by a Ukrainian Israeli Cypriot oligarch called Igor Kolomoisky. Now, Igor Kolomoisky was the man who owns 1+1 Media here in Ukraine. And 1+1 Media is a company that financed and produced the TV show Servant of the People. And Servant of the People hired Zelensky, a well-known actor in Ukraine, an actor with zero political experience or even any political interest. Well, they hired him to play the role of the president in this show, Servant of the People. Now, Servant of the People had huge ratings, but a lot of people say that it was really weird, the amount of propaganda and PR that was done for the show. It was disproportionate to any other show of any channel. The amount of PR, positive press, and all the rest of it, it was really pushed on the people. Some people say it was completely astroturfed. Some people who know How to Speak Ukrainian and who have watched the show have told me that it's a mildly enjoyable show, but no big deal. But anyway, the show was hugely popular. And it ran from 2015 to 2018. And almost seamlessly, Kolomoisky, the oligarch, created a party called Servant of the People, same name as the TV show. And their candidate was Zelensky, a man with no previous political experience and indeed no previous political interest. And Kolomoisky financed Zelensky to the point that Zelensky today is a billionaire. How many actors do you know are billionaires? I mean, I don't think that Tom Cruise is a billionaire, and he's the most successful actor in the world, if he's just an actor. Zelensky is more than just an actor. He's the finger puppet of Kolomoisky, this oligarch. And do you know who Kolomoisky also financed to the tune of $50,000 a month, plus additional benefits of different sorts? Hunter Biden. Yes. In 2014, Burisma, the Ukrainian oil company, gas company, hired Hunter Biden to be on its board of directors to the tune of $50,000 a month. Who do you think controls Burisma? Kolomoisky, the same guy who manufactured Zelensky as president of Ukraine. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that. Zelensky and Hunter Biden are spiritual cousins. They are bankrolled by the same guy. It's funny because both of them have drug addictions, pretty serious ones. Both of them get their money from Kolomoisky, and both of them are intimately involved in Ukraine. But here's the difference, of course. Zelensky doesn't have a dad who's president of the United States, now does he? Why do you think the White House, the United States, is freaking out so badly over Ukraine? In Ukraine, there are all kinds of secrets. In Ukraine, well, see, the more unsavory people in the Washington establishment have used Ukraine as their private piggy bank to the detriment of the Ukrainian people. They have financially raped Ukraine, stripping it of monies and assets needed by the people of Ukraine. And this is part of the reason that Ukraine is one of the poorest countries in Europe, if not the poorest country in Europe, because of the corruption, because of how Westerners have exploited it, Western politicians have exploited it. Hunter Biden, $50,000 a month. And you say to yourself, well, $50,000 isn't that much. Yeah, but $50,000 a year is the median household income in the United States. In Ukraine, a much poorer country, $50,000 a year would easily solve the problems of a good 4 or 5 families in Ukraine, the financial problems of those 4 or 5 families in Ukraine for a year. And Hunter Biden was getting that money per month just for himself. Although, of course, in the Hunter Biden emails, there's talk that seems to be true, that the old man would get a 10% kickback of whatever Hunter Biden was getting. And that was in the laptop. Oh, yeah. Look it up. You don't have to take my word for it. You don't have to take my word for any of what I'm telling you. Look it up yourself and you'll find it. It's very easy to find. Kolomoisky, the Ukrainian-Israeli Cypriot oligarch, was financing Zelensky, was financing Joe Biden. God alone knows who else he was financing. And he was just one. There's a whole rotten bunch of these people here in Ukraine. And they were all busy paying off the West so that they could carry on their little evil deeds and whatnot. If you want to know why the West is freaking out over Ukraine, you have to understand that they are all terrified that the truth will come out in Ukraine.
Но когда, например, говорят о том, что не направят свои войска, но хорошо. Но ведь есть военно-морские силы, есть ПВО, есть система Патриот. Этого будет достаточно. То, что есть у американцев. И даже не нужно, чтобы был персонал, который будет обслуживать эти системы. Наши люди это сделают. С утра мне звонит главнокомандующий и говорит, у нас возле этого города, я не хочу говорить где, но, допустим, он говорит, у нас нет ракет Патриот. И у нас нет ракет, а на нас летят 8 ракет. Не нужно говорить о чем-то большом. Я говорю об этом американской команде. Что вы нам можете по-настоящему дать? Какие гарантии безопасности? Вы не хотите присутствовать здесь лично, не хотите, чтобы мы вступили в НАТО. Можете вы нам дать достаточно патриотов?
Необходимо, конечно, продлить срок действия договора об особом статусе отдельных регионов Донбасса. И в конечном итоге придать этой норме постоянный характер, как это и предусмотрено. Я не хочу никого обижать, боже упаси, так звучит, конечно, прозвучит не очень хорошо. Я все-таки спрашиваю у своих коллег, у экспертов, я говорю, а вот чего в Европе не хватает вот сейчас? Ответ такой, мозгов вам не хватает.
So today is 17th of January 2025. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Oscar Jenkins. My name is Oscar Jenkins. Я 32 років. I'm 32 years old. Я Australianец. Я з Australia. I come from Australia. I'm Australian.
Okay, so you are a prisoner of war from 66th Mechanized Brigade of Armored Forces of Ukraine. Is it clear? Okay, tell us a few words about your health condition, about your mood. Are you okay?
I would like more freedom. No, my health, I feel a bit weak. I've lost a lot of weight. I have a broken arm still, I think, and my hand is not good.
But you are alive. So an information about your death is not right.
Correct.
Okay. Please take
my hat off.
Yes. Okay. So everything is okay. He is alive, and I think he will better. Okay.